You are Lisbeth Salander, the woman who hurts men, who hurt women. No, this is really just Tink. Ow! Tink is the herder of me. Hi, I'm Quin, and today I want to talk about Girl in the Spider's Web. This is kind of a lie because I want to talk about the movie, but before I talk about the movie, I gotta be honest. See where that mark is? That is about as far as I got into this book when I read it. Because this guy, David Lagerkrantz, yeah, that was terrible butchering. He really did a good job at mimicking Stieg Larsson's writing style. Unfortunately, halfway, I was kind of snoozing. So, admittedly, I did not finish this book. Before I talk about the movie that I saw, I want to talk about the other movies and the books because I have a lot to say, and I'm gonna say right now that I love Lisbeth Salander, and I went through a Lisbeth Salander phase for a while. I mean, when I saw the 2011 David Fincher movie, I basically had this exact same hair, except it was black, and I had my piercings, you know. I'm pretty sure I got this jacket around the same time too. No, just kidding. I actually, this jacket is just fucking rad and I like it and I need to wear it more. But anyway, I actually, first, because before I saw David Fincher's movie, wow, I saw the Swedish Trilogy. I saw it on Netflix. I watched them all in one day back in early 2011 when I was living in New York, and I remember that it was a very cold day and I was home alone because my partner was working. We worked at a movie theater at the time, and I didn't work that day, and I was like kind of lonely and it was cold, and so I had heard about the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo movie. I mean, a lot of my friends liked it. I didn't know what it was about. And I didn't realize there were like three movies. So I watched it and I was just enamored. I fell absolutely in love with Lisbeth, and especially with Noomi Rapace as Lisbeth. And I watched all three movies, and by the time I had a bit of a headache because all reading those subtitles, but I loved it. I thought this was phenomenal, and as soon as I saw all three movies, I immediately had to go out and get the books because I didn't know there were books, and you know, we found out there were books. I read the books, and I love the books, but there are a lot of boring parts in the books, at least to me. Like, I love the stuff with Lisbeth. I love the stuff with her and Mikael and all that, but just some of it, like, just, oh my gosh, there is parts where it drags, and like, that's fine. I'm also not really good at math, and like, Lisbeth is also written to where she's on the spectrum. Like, a lot of people seem to think that she might have Asperger's, like, in the books. So there is some ways that, like, she relates to people, or the way her mind works, that I don't really understand. So, like, I find her fascinating and just wonderful, and she's a superhero in her own right, really. I mean, like, in the books, she's written, like, they keep saying, like, oh, she looks like she's anorexic, so she's really skinny, but she can also, like, take down people, like, men that are so much heavier than her when she's, like, anorexic looking, so that would imply she doesn't have much muscle, but she's also a kickboxer, and she eats junk food all the time, and smokes, and it, like, just, I don't know, like, just, like, oh, these terrible things, but you can still kick ass, like, I don't, just, you know, she's basically a superhero. And, if you don't really know, like, the backstory, I believe in Swedish, the actual title is not Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, it's, Men Who Hate Women. And Lisbeth, I read that she was based off, well, not really based off of someone, or, you know, an amalgam of people in Stieg Larsson's life, and like her appearance and her demeanor, but also some of the things that happened to her in the books and stuff. I remember reading that Stieg Larsson had an acquaintance, a female acquaintance, that he saw her get raped, like, by multiple people, and he didn't or just wasn't able to do anything to stop it, and he hated himself for not being able to stop this, and he eventually, like, apologized to her, and obviously she didn't accept his apology, and so that was, like, kind of another reason for the way why Lisbeth is so ferocious in getting revenge on people, especially men that hurt women, and especially the ones that hurt her personally and the people around her. So, like, that's, oh my god, like, goddamn fucking downer, right? But, you know, so, like, that's kind of, like, where she came from, the character. And, the character of Mikko, who's a journalist that has an, like, on-again, off-again kind of thing with Lisbeth, you know, he's quite a bit older than her, and to me, it kind of read that Mikko was Stieg Larsson's self-insert version, you know, like himself, really, and a self-insert into his story, and, like, you know, Mikhail's always, like, getting the ladies, like, he has, like, an on-again, off-again, like, lover, in Erica, and she's, like, cuckolding her husband. I mean, he knows about it. Like, I don't know, it's so strange, like, there's so much, like, weird sex stuff going on in these books, and I'm just like, what? And, like, seeing it all, like, in the movies is just kind of a little ridiculous, because it's just, like, there's so much stuff going on. Like, I don't understand why in certain, like, the movies, they try to touch on, like, all of these aspects, and it's like, wait, what? Like, was this guy just, like, the, you know, the cock of the walk? I don't know, like, what the deal is. But so, okay. I'm assuming you're watching this because you're familiar with these, because I'm not really analyzing the books or reviewing them. I'm really just kind of, like, my, you know, jibber-jabber thoughts on them. So, I enjoy the books very much. Movies, fucking love them. Noomi Rapace is fantastic. Obviously, I love her Lisbeth. I also really love her, I loved her in Prometheus, and I love her in What Happened to Monday, which is where she plays 7 different sisters. Noomi is my workout goals. She's my, like, kick-ass bitch goals, and I love her. She transformed herself, like, so amazing for this role. And I also really, really love the person who plays Mikael in the movie, and the Swedish movies. He's just great. Like, whenever I think of Mikael, he's the one that I think of. Obviously, loved the trilogy. You know, they had to change things a little bit from the movie. The book, they're not perfect replicas of the books, which is fine. Like, you don't really, like, they're really long. They're all very long movies. So, the Fincher movie. Okay. So I have some different thoughts on the Fincher movie after seeing Spider's Web last night. And, okay, I absolutely loved the Fincher movie. I didn't love it any more or any less than the Swedish ones, and a lot of people are like, ew, what? And I'm just like, I'm sorry, like, but I'm also a huge fan of David Fincher. Like, he is pretentious as fuck, and I love him, and I love his attention to detail. I love, clearly, his obsession that he had with Lisbeth, and Rooney Mara, who plays Lisbeth in his version, she's also great. But the thing is, when I think of Lisbeth, as far, like, okay, she got the physical real well. I think she also got, like, her temperament really well. Like, technically, in my opinion, Rooney Mara's version is more accurate to the book, at least the physicality parts. I mean, I personally do not buy it, that, like, this scrawny little 5'2", very emaciated young woman could beat the crap out of somebody in a subway, but you know, once again, superhero. Lisbeth Salander is a fucking superhero, and we love her. Also, I don't know, like, the nudity in the film, because I don't know, I very much enjoy, you know, the human body. I love, like, when people transform their bodies and do different things. Like, I loved all the physical things that she did. I also really did love, oh my goodness, I have suddenly for Daniel Craig, thank you. I was like, wait, what is his name? Really? Are you kidding me? He's gorgeous. I think Daniel Craig was too pretty to play Mikael Blomkvist. Like, he did fine, but like, to me it kind of felt like he was phoning it in, because there was so much focus on Rooney as Lisbeth. But I mean, whatever, it was still good. I also, the casting of Bierman, who is Lisbeth's social worker in that, in the Fincher movie, hit me. Like, it hurt more to see those scenes that happen. I don't know, like, it just, I don't know, like, it triggered a lot of, like, pain in me more to see those scenes versus the ones in the Swedish. I don't know, just, it is what it is, I guess. And, so I don't know, like, sometimes you want to watch, it's kind of like watching a scary movie. Like, you want to have this kind of uncomfortable feeling. It's not necessarily that I want to see these types of scenes, but I feel, like, intrigued that I was pushed to that level of uncomfortableness, if that makes any sense at all. Also, I think the guy that they cast as Martin in the Fincher movie was just way too obvious. I'm sorry, like, he plays a bad guy in like every movie that he's in, so if you already automatically know that it's him, even if you've never seen the books, the other movies, or read the books. Also, originally when I did see the Fincher movie, one of my friends who was a big fan of the books, she's like, so what did you think of it? What did you think of it compared to the other one? And I described it this way. I said it was very similar to the Lolita movies. If you put one version of the movie and the other version of the movie together, ta, you have the book. So it's kind of like that with the Fincher and the original Swedish. They add some things, they take some stuff away for timing, and anyway. Alright, now, finally, ta-da! Let's get to the point. 12 minutes in. Girl in the Spider's Web. Claire Foy plays Lisbeth, and holy fuck. She was the best part of this movie. Oh god, okay. So, let's see. The portrayal, like, comparing all three Lisbeths. I love all three Lisbeths very much. Very, very much. Like, I don't think any of them, I don't think either one of them was bad. Anybody who says it's bad is just, they're a purist, or just, whatever. They just want to bitch about something. Okay, sure. Alright, that's cool. I like to bitch about stuff too. Here's the thing. In my mind, Claire Foy and Noomi Rapace are what I consider Lisbeth, like who I consider Lisbeth to be, or who I would want to be. While Rooney Mara, I'd rather date her and take care of her and feed her a sandwich. I don't know, just they, Noomi and Claire Foy just seemed way more sturdy and actual badasses, while Rooney was kind of like the kicked puppy that nobody wanted. And that's totally fine, different aspects of this character, that's great. But when I think, I came home after watching the movie, and I was just like, yeah, I wanted to kick ass. I actually, today, after seeing the movie, I had a Krav Maga workshop with my class at the instructor's house, and I was I went in and I was like, yeah, I'm so pumped, I want to beat the crap out of people. It just makes you want to kick ass. And okay, so that, the Lisbeth stuff out of the way. As far as the character goes and superficial, she looked the part, she did good. I think she, it was believable that she could do the things that she was supposed to be doing. Okay, Girl in the Spider's Web movie. Story, convoluted mess. The story itself, convoluted fucking mess. I don't know once again, admittedly, I only got halfway through the book. I thought a lot of it was kind of boring. The story, you could follow it. It wasn't like I didn't understand what was going on. It was just like I didn't care. Like we were supposed to care. Like, because it's this tech that Lisbeth needs to get back from the American government because it was stolen. It was taken from this one, the guy who created it, and like his son is involved, and he needs it back because it could potentially destroy the world, because it's basically an app that is going to control nuclear missiles. This could be a thing we already have. I don't know. But as far as the story goes, like, she needs to get this back for him. But then it gets stolen from her, and all this ridiculous nonsense goes down. And, like, okay, she's framed for murder. Again. And, okay. Alright, I can deal with a not-so-great story, but a great Lisbeth. My other problem with Girl in the Spider's Web movie, the guy who plays Mikael Blomkvist, he looks like he's fresh out of college. I'm sorry, I don't know anything about that actor. He was very handsome, you know, okay, like, I'm not being weird or anything, but like, there is supposed to be at least a minimum of a 20-year age difference between Lisbeth and Mikael. And this man, this man looks fresh out of college. Lisbeth looks almost his same age. And, like, that is, yes, that's a nitpick for me. I don't know, it just could be, like, the fact that I'm around that age, like, when I, you know, it's, like, the 20-something-year-old woman with the 40-or-something-year-old man, like, finding, like, friendship and having to team up and, like, destroy, you know, the bad guys. Like, I don't know, it was very appealing the last decade or so. And, just, you know, so I don't know, superficial, maybe, but I just couldn't buy it. I was like, oh, no. But still, I could suspend my disbelief and still watch the movie. I still wanted to see Lisbeth and Mikael doing stuff together, like, kicking ass. In this story, Lisbeth is, she does have a sister, and she's mentioned in the books. The thing is, though, I was kind of getting the vibe that they changed some of her backstory, because I was kind of hoping that because this is the second, you know, in the Dragon Tattoo series that has an American adaptation. They went from Dragon Tattoo, Fincher's, to Girl in the Spider's Web. So that's quite a few years in between. So all the stuff that happens in it, so there's Dragon Tattoo, and then there's, Girl Who Kicked the Hornet, Girl Who Played with Fire, and the Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. There's a lot of shit that happens in those two books. And then the ghostwriter, David blah blah blah, this guy, writes Girl in the Spider's Web. And they don't even touch on the stuff that happened. Like, that's another thing, is I was hoping that since they went from Dragon Tattoo to here, like, whatever, okay, I guess they're taking away the stuff from Fincher, because I don't know what happened. Maybe, like, contracts went out or too much time went by. Because that movie came out at the end of 2011. Like, just, I believe it was December 2011. Yeah, so it has been a hot minute. And you're supposed to take, like, you know, I'm sorry, but you can't expect people to remember and then, like, to be totally confused. So from watching it, because, like, I, you know, love the books, and, you know, halfway got through this book, and I was even like, well, they changed some of her backstory. Like, no, like, it's okay. It's like, if they're gonna do that, okay, but, like, they didn't, you know, you don't need an origin story for every single, you know, movie or anything, but, you know, they could have at least shown, you know, some stuff to understand how we got from here to here, you know, from Dragon Tattoo to Spider's Web. So I'm not really sure why they did that. I think that was a poor decision. I don't really know if the movie has done well in, like, the box office. I mean, not that, you know, that really matters usually, but as far as, like, keeping the franchise going, like, I think this was a classic blunder, which really makes me sad, because, once again, Claire Foy did fantastic. I also should mention that I knew who she was through the movie Unsane, and she was great in that movie. So, I really liked her as Lisbeth in this movie. Like, I will watch it again. I mean, I'll buy it. I'll probably buy the movie, or at least, at the very least, rent it on a streaming, on like Netflix or Amazon or something when it's out. I'll give it another watch because I liked seeing her do things. I liked seeing her, like, screw people, and not literally, but you know, make deals. And there was a really strange scene with this latex vacuum fetish thing. Like, I don't understand what the point that was. I felt that was kind of exploitive. Just like, it's like, okay, like, we're just, like, maybe it was in the half of the book I didn't read, but I don't know. It didn't. All right, it was something. Girl in the Spider's Web. It was something. I would still recommend it. I would still recommend it. Just go in, like, knowing that you're not really gonna get the answers that you want, and the storyline's convoluted. If you just really love the character of Lisbeth Salander and want to see this other version of her, just, you know, do it. I mean, you don't necessarily have to go see it in the movie theater, but if you're a big fan of these books, just, you know, just give it a chance. You know, the worst thing that can happen is you aren't gonna like it, and then you can go watch the Fincher one, or you can go watch the Swedish ones again. Like, those are not gonna go away just because a movie came out that you didn't like. So, I love me some Lisbeth. All right. I hope that this made sense, like, at all. Just talking about how much I like things. So, if there's other movies or specific characters, really, that you want me to talk about, please put them in the comments. Give me a like, give me a thumbs up. And if there's any recommendations you have for Clown Girl Talks, please also put those in the comments. Thank you guys so much. I just realized that I recently hit, like, 500 subs, so that's, like, really cool, because that's not really what I was expecting. Like, why do you follow me? What's going on? What more do you want to see? And I might not even listen to you and just do what I want to do, because this is really fun. I love talking about movies. So, alright guys, I'll see you next time, and let's appreciate my leather jacket. Oh yeah, it's awesome. Alright, bye.